What is good, Ninja? OJ over here from PlayerEssence, and welcome to another PE Nintendo Switch and gaming news video. Today we have some awesome information for you guys, but before we get into that, go ahead and hit that like button if you do like this series of videos that I do. It really helps us spread the content of PlayerEssence across the internet, man. So go ahead and hit that like button, help your boy out, and let's go ahead and keep this train rolling. Now with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get right into the news. Long lines form for Super Famicom Mini pre-orders in Japan. So the pre-orders for the Super Famicom Mini opened in Japan this past weekend, and just like we've seen with the Nintendo Switch, and I think even with the Famicom, the original Famicom Mini that they put out, there was a ton of chaos. There was a lot of big lines, and Kotaku has put it onto perspective with some snapshots taken, and it was insane, guys. We're seeing thick, long lines for this Super Famicom Mini when it comes to pre-orders. Now, roughly there was about 40 people lined up at the Yodobashi camera in Yokohama, but there was a lot more than that, even reaching 227 people by 6:30 a.m. So there was a lot of people at various different places. Now, despite being kind of rainy in Osaka, people still turned out, and in some places even camped out for this thing. So depending on where you were, it kind of varied how big lines were, but it was insane, guys. You guys are seeing some of the pics here, and then another 300 people lined up in Kawasaki by around 8:20 a.m. this past weekend, and then another long line could be found in Akibara. Apparently the Yodobashi camera below saw around 800 people in there giving out little tags here, and it was just insane. Now this one is probably the biggest right here. So another report claimed that the Yodobashi camera at Shinjuku's west entrance had as many as 1,000 people lined up. However, only 400 people could be accommodated, so 600 people went away without one. Although 400 is not bad for one allocation as far as stock goes for one area there, man. So it was absolutely crazy. Now we're even talking about rural areas of Japan. Although the lines were smaller, this is out there in the countryside. People were driving out there just to see if they can get one, and then just some more photos all over the place, man. It was pretty crazy. There was a lot of long lines, and you want to see this and then you don't want to see it. It's like the double-edged sword when it comes to Nintendo at this point. It's like, okay, you want to see everyone get a Super Nintendo Classic. You want to see everyone be happy, but at the same time, there's no way you can probably produce like 1,000 for one store. There's like no way you can produce that many. You're just going to have to produce as many as you can. Now Nintendo, what they have said is that they're going to have significantly more stock with this one than they did with the NES Mini, and I think that you're seeing that since one allocation there got 400 or so, and I've been able to pre-order 2 of them myself, and a lot of stores are going to be getting quite a bit. We're seeing a lot of the leaked stock rumored here and there, but it does seem like there's going to be a lot more, and Reggie has came out and said, hey, you know, like, don't pay scalpers, just wait, you can go there on the day. Toys R Us has said, hey, we're going to have a good amount of stock, just come in there on the day that it launches, and it's coming up pretty soon here. I think it's September 29th, so we're coming up really fast on this man. It's going to be pretty awesome to see kind of what's going down with this system and how it does overall, especially in comparison to the Nintendo Switch. It's going to be interesting for that, and they even recently said that they're going to be extending the production time of the Super Nintendo Classic all the way to 2018 or into 2018, plus they're bringing back the NES Mini, so they're bringing that back as well. So Nintendo knows that there's a lot of money in this mini console market, and they're definitely going to take advantage of it, especially with the Switch shortages going down. I mean, it's a good way to make some extra money. On top of that, you have the 3DS, which is also selling, so that's why you continue to make content for it. So Nintendo has a nice three-headed monster right here, man, with Super Nintendo Classic. 3DS is obviously still around and selling, and then of course the Nintendo Switch is the top one there, with pretty much people buying one of those 3 systems. It's funny, somebody's always buying or wanting to buy a Super Nintendo Classic, a 3DS, or a 2DS XL, or a Nintendo Switch, man. So it's pretty cool to see, and I'm glad Nintendo is definitely doing a lot better when it comes to system sales across the board, not just with the 3DS like before. Now it's pretty much everything that they're putting out is doing pretty well, whether it's the 2DS, whether it's the Super Nintendo Classic, whether it's the Switch, everything, they're kind of firing on all cylinders. So let's hope it keeps up. And what do you guys think about these pre-order lines? Let me know in the comment section below. Alright, and moving on to the next article here. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night introduces the Japanese voice cast. So a new Bloodstained Ritual of the Night development update has been published on the official Kickstarter page in a post primarily handled by creator Koji Igarashi, the Japanese voice cast has been introduced. Voice actors for 8 different characters are known. Another actor is also named, but the character he plays is currently a secret, so we should be hearing about that soon, according to the Kickstarter page update. Now, the full breakdown is below, and I don't want to go over everything there. You can check out all of the voice actors, but what I thought was interesting is that they did a good job of actually like matching the voice actors with how the person looks, which is actually pretty cool. I actually really like the fact that they did that. And I think like a lot of different places do that in order to get the person in character, you know, in order to make sure that, hey, like this is how this character is going to act, and you have to have that, like you have to play that character, you have to be that character when you're doing the voice acting. So I like the fact how they matched it up there, and it definitely looks very, very good so far as the Japanese voice acting, which is always very important because you know there's going to be those people that say, I want to play as Japanese voice acting, I need to have it. So I'm really happy that they're having pretty quality actors here based on some of the resumes here. So let's talk a little bit about Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. So this is the only game that I've ever backed on Kickstarter that I felt strongly enough, that I felt so compelled that I have to back this game, because I did not like the way Koji Igarashi and Konami, like everything went down at the end of his career there. I thought that it was a disgrace. I thought that it was pitiful that they put him in the position what he was doing as far as making these no-name mobile games. There was no more real Castlevanias. So when he decided to finally leave and he said, I'm going to go do my own thing, I remember making a video back in the day, like 4 years ago, saying this is great for Nintendo fans that he's leaving. This is absolutely fantastic, because you can bet that his next game, whatever he makes, this next Castlevania, Metroidvania style of game is going to be on a Nintendo system. And you know what? Bam! It was. First announced for the Nintendo Wii U, then moved over to the Nintendo Switch, because we all know that Nintendo fans love that classic Castlevania, that Metroidvania experience. So I'm really happy that he was able to do this, but they still got a lot of work to do. I know he said that they were a little bit behind a few months ago. Maybe they're doing some catching up. That's why it feels comfortable enough to talk about the voice acting. So that's definitely good to hear some of that, and hopefully they can hit that target date, man, of like, I think spring 2018 is when they're looking to have this game out, March, something around that time period. So let's hope they can hit that, because I'm really looking forward to this game. I played the demo on this channel, the PC demo for the backers, and you know what, it was fantastic. It was classic Castlevania. It felt great to play, has great mechanics, and I cannot wait till the final release. So let me know what you guys think about Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, in addition to the Japanese voice cast as well. You can check out the whole listing and the casting in the description below. Alright, and moving on to the next article here. Final Fantasy 15 has topped 6.5 million units sold worldwide. So Final Fantasy 15 director Hajime Tabata, in a new interview with GameSpot, has revealed that the game has now sold over 6.5 million units. Quote, from a business standpoint, we've achieved over 6.5 million units, and the fact that we're still going to be putting out content to the launch of the Windows Edition, and then we have the Pocket Edition, this project has been very successful for us, said Tabata. But from a personal level and from a dev team standpoint, what really resonates with us is the fan feedback we got from the day one release, was that they felt that the story was lacking in certain aspects. So for us, we did our best to give back and supplement those areas where people felt it was lacking. When those fans who were complaining about the story from the early days are now completely satisfied with the overall experience, that's the moment when we can say as a team that we're pleased with what we did for Final Fantasy 15. And obviously we don't plan to draw out this forever. At some point we're going to have to mark the end of the journey for Final Fantasy 15. With that said, we're still listening to what the fans want and expect from this game. So it's definitely good to see that the game sold over 6.5 million units, because the game took over 6.5 million years to develop. No, I'm joking. Obviously it didn't take that long, but it did have a long and troubled development path. So to finally see the product on store shelves is something that I was very happy to see, regardless of the game's quality at launch compared to how it is at this point. So I do feel, because I did buy the game at launch and I played the game and I beat the game, and I think that it's a great game. For me, looking at Final Fantasy 15 and the experience that it pretty much offered, I thought it was really good based on the development period. You know, they weren't developing it for 10 full years. It had so many crazy things going on. Usually that spells doom for a game, but this game actually ended up turning out okay. Now I would like to see the breakdown, the spread between the PS4 and the Xbox One. I think that a lot of the sales have definitely come afterwards, once the game has pretty much been discounted, $29.99, people are starting to pick up the game here in America. Not in Japan, because in Japan it really kind of dipped off the charts and hasn't came back. You know, it didn't come back into the charts or anything like that. So it really was the Western areas that were kind of picking the game up later, and I'm pretty sure like once it goes down to $20, it'll even be better for people to pick up and play, especially at this point with all the patches and updates to the game. It's obviously a much better game now at this point than it was beforehand. They fixed Chapter 13, so I'm interested to see what they do next, and hopefully they include the Nintendo Switch in that. If you want to have those long-term and sustained sales, you can sell a lot better than 6.5 million, in my opinion. If they put out a quality Final Fantasy, the next one or whatever they're going to be working on, and it's on Switch in addition to all the other platforms, you're going to see a ton of great sales, especially in Japan. So we'll still have to wait and see what they do have in store. Obviously, Tabata has been in the news quite a bit lately when it comes to Final Fantasy and Switch and the tease, and then going back and forth and then saying, oh, jokey, and there's just all sorts of stuff going on. So we'll see what they do in the future, but overall, I'm happy for the development team. I'm happy for them because this is something that's been a long time coming, and it's cool to see that so many players picked up your game, right? I bet he really feels vindicated that he was able to launch this product, especially in the state that it was in probably 2-3 years ago. Nobody really thought this game was actually going to come out, or it was going to be repurposed into something completely different. So it's pretty cool that the game actually ended up launching. So let me know what you guys think about this article in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think about Final Fantasy 15 selling over 6.5 million units. Did you pick up the game? I would love to hear your thoughts. Alright, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. It really helps us spread the content of PlayerEssence across the interwebs in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon page. Pledge any tier, be entered to win some awesome prizes each month. In addition to that, we have Discord voice chat and $10 prize eShop tournaments for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Splatoon 2, and more. So support PE Live and PE Arena right here on PlayerEssence. Also, make sure you hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest news, reviews, discussions, and more. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace.